Michael Bennett traded to the New England Patriots. The Patriots finally get their guy. Last season, they were looking to trade for Martellus Bennett's brother, one of the most disruptive defensive linemen in the entire NFL, especially over the past 10 years in the NFL. He's been an absolute force, of course, in Seattle, in Tampa Bay, Philadelphia, and now he will play for the New England Patriots. He has those ties with his brother, of course, as I brought up, Martellus Bennett, who is also rumored to return. So we're just going to throw that little bit of news into this as well. Michael Bennett traded to the Patriots for a 5th-round pick. The Patriots also receive a 7th-round pick. This is in 2020. These picks will become in place. Dylan, what are your thoughts on this move overall for both teams, the Eagles and the Patriots?
Yeah, for the Eagles, I think they just wanted to create a little cap space. They're a little low on their cap space, so getting a guy like Michael Bennett traded away is a little bonus. And getting a 5th-round pick, you said, that's a little extra incentive. Now just a little give back to them. So cap space and an extra draft pick next year is fine. For the Patriots, I think this is a great trade. Michael Bennett had more sacks than anybody on the Patriots last year. Am I correct? More than one individual? That
is correct. He also has the most pressures in the NFL, or the 2nd most pressures in the NFL over the past 3 seasons, and he had the 5th most last season.
There you go. So he's still a great defensive force. He's still going to be able to help them. Of course, Bill Belichick loves the guy. He's been wanting him for years, it feels like, especially last year was all the trade rumors right here about, oh, is he going to go there? But he stayed one more year at Philadelphia. I think this is a positive going forward. Bennett's still a really good talent that puts up productive numbers. I believe it was 9 sacks last year and 8.5 the year before that. So he's really capable of still putting something out there. And I think the Patriots defense is going to get a big boost from somebody like this. So I like the trade for both teams, honestly, but obviously more for the Patriots.
Yeah, so first, looking at it from an Eagles perspective, I think they made this move because they're looking to free up some cap space. And this is basically the only reason they made this move. Because when you look at it, I mean, you don't want to get rid of a player like Michael Bennett, especially the way that he played for this defense last season. He was awesome. He had 30 quarterback hits, which ties his career high from 2015 with the Seahawks. He had, of course, 9 sacks, as Dylan brought it up, which is just 1 below his career high. And Michael Bennett has been a player that the stats itself, I know we've just spoken all these stats out loud and it kind of sounds impressive, but really when he was in his prime with Seattle, the stats didn't really show how great of a player he was. He's such a disruptive force, whether it's lining up outside as a defensive end or kind of playing a defensive tackle role. A lot of times, I think more last season we saw him kind of play as a pass rushing defensive tackle. And I was kind of curious to see what his snaps were like for the Eagles last season. I thought they might be a little bit lower. Maybe he was more of a rotation guy. But actually, he did play quite a few snaps. He played over 800 snaps. He played 831 snaps by Pro Football Focus. These are the numbers. And that is more than Khalil Mack, Calais Campbell, and just around Von Miller's territory. I know Khalil Mack was injured. But that's along with elite players. So he played a lot of snaps. So even at his age, he has the capability of playing a lot of snaps if he need be. I think that where he can really come in and be a force for the Patriots is as that interior pass rusher. The Patriots, if it hasn't been Trey Flowers kind of playing that position on 3rd down, they've kind of struggled to get that as a consistent force on a regular basis. So I think this is a great move for them. Bill Belichick, he loves this guy's play. I remember in the 2014-2015 season when the Patriots played the Seahawks in the Super Bowl in the pregame conference, Belichick, I believe, called Bennett the best or most disruptive player in the NFL on defense. So he might not be that player that he was in his prime with the Seahawks, but he's still a very capable player, a very good player. And this has to question and bring up the fact that, of course, the Patriots have Trey Flowers, who is a free agent. So does this mean that the Patriots move on from Trey Flowers, or does this mean that they re-sign him? To me, I think personally it's going to be dependent on the number And I think they want to bring back Trey Flowers. I think Trey Flowers wants to play for the Patriots, as he's even said in numerous public outings where he said, we want number 7. So he obviously wants to be back as a Patriot, but the question remains, will he cost too much money? He's going to probably be the best defensive lineman on the market now that a bunch of the other ones have been taken off the market. And he's probably scheduled to make $15+ million on the open market. So is that going to be too much for the Patriots or not? Now, Bennett and Flowers, they do play a similar position, but they could definitely get along on the defensive line. I think if they do bring back Trey Flowers, I think this would be such a dynamic force for the Patriots along the defensive line that it would be very difficult to stop. And we saw that the Patriots were able to kind of create some pressure by blitzing this past season, especially in the playoffs, and that would even add to it even more. So Bennett, great deal. When looking at the Eagles, again, it's just all about the cap space. They were actually going to release him, so they wanted to get something out of that, and they did end up getting a 5th-round pick. It is next year, but overall, I'd probably give this like a great grade for the Patriots. It's just an average grade for the Eagles because they are losing one of their more disruptive, better players on their defensive side of the football, and you're only really getting a 5th-round pick back. We'll see what the Eagles do with that money, if they make a run at a different position or a different player, if this frees up cap to do so, but we'll see. Anything to add to really Michael Bennett himself going to the Patriots or the Eagles' point of view, Dylan, there?
In terms of the Eagles, actually, I had a stat here. They were negative $16 million in cap space 3 weeks ago. Now they have $26 million. So they have freed up quite a bit of space for themselves if they want to do anything. And for the Patriots, like I said earlier, I think this is a B+, A- grade. I really like the signing of Michael Bennett. And whether Trey Flowers comes back, if he comes back, obviously it's a huge bonus. But if not, it helps out. And, of course, it looks like the team really likes him. So I think it's a great trade for the Patriots and something that was looked at last year as almost happening, and now it's official. So I like the trade for the Patriots.
Yeah, and we'll see how they use them. I'm sure it will be a great move for the Patriots, just because this is a pass rusher. This is a player that I think brings a lot to the table still at his age. And just to wrap it up on him, I think it's going to be interesting because a lot of fans have some concerns of his personality, but we've seen that his brother has come in and it's worked for him. And I think that reputation, that kind of Patriots, that Patriot tradition, I think is going to come in, and I think it's going to work for him. I think it worked in Philadelphia. We didn't really hear anything from him in Philadelphia, so I'm expecting the same in New England.